Didn't post yesterday, but that's life. That's copyright. But fixing my grades, yeah, yet again, guys. It went quite bad the first year now, but I'm going to try my best to learn from my mistakes, and hopefully I've grown a bit more. It sucks fixing your grades. It's not the worst thing, but it's not fun. As I've said before, it's quite humbling, especially when you go into high school where you're having your exam, and people, I don't know, a lot of years younger than you are just on school and stuff like that, and you're going here trying to fix my grade, guys, because I was too dumb in school. Yes, sir. But yeah, I I don't know if it's qualified as free year, but even though I'm fixing my grades, I will take the opportunities I have to do stuff, experience stuff, make stuff, and I will continue to do so, or I will lose my head. Continue to train, continue to try, or continue to act, and just keep on doing that stuff. I still live at home, and I will have a talk with my parent about that. I have a discussion, and also, have that. Can I still stay for another year, please? I'll, I'll mow the lawn. I'll do this. I'll do that. Please. I'll buy you groceries. I'm kidding, but yeah, it's just like a bit of a kick in the face, in the gut, because there's difficulties. There's difficult to not sort of compare when almost all of your friends, most of your friends, do stuff. There are people and friends who are not doing or are in universities and all that stuff and whatnot. But it's difficult not to compare, right? Keep your head to your own and such, but it's scary to some extent. It's not that scary, but it's a bit spooky because you're investing in the future, another year on doing this stuff, which is not a guarantee for that you get your grades. There's a lot of money and time. Therefore, I want to utilize as much as I can doing other stuff as well, so I don't, I do have other things. But there's people crying at the exams. People are stressing out of their minds, right? Because it means a lot to them, and it means a lot to me too, but not in that extent. For me, people react in their own ways, which is totally fine. But that is, the level. It means a lot to people. If you don't get that grade, you have to wait another semester, which is a lot of time. So there's that, there's those kind of what if, but the what if shouldn't be here, if you know what I mean. It shouldn't be on the table, because you are going to work hard enough, you are going to practice enough, you are going to be ready, you are going to put in that work. So the what if isn't on the table. It's not this or that. There's only that, which is getting that grade, or getting those grades. So you're just going to have to practice enough, doing the work, put the work in. I didn't do that enough for the last year I had, and it was extremely expensive, and it was not a fun time. It was not. Nada. It sucked so bad. I remember the first semester I didn't get the grades I wanted. I actually I got The second best grade. I remember talking about this. Second best grade, and then the school was at a place where I could see the view of the whole capital city, and I just walked to a viewpoint there, and I just looked out. It's up in the north here, Nordic countries, so there was completely dark. It was quiet. There was that in my head, in my mind, not getting the grade you wanted, not getting the grade with the perfected grade and such, and a little bit of fear built up, right? You have another semester which you had 5 or 6 exams. 5 or 6 exams. That is something I don't think I'll do again. And that went, I got one grade, which was perfected, but the rest of them was not. And then you spent, thousands of kroner, which equals, I don't know how many dollars. Let's say spend, $4,000, $3,000 around that area or something, but a lot of money. And it feels like he went down the toilet. But I can choose to believe that, and I can choose to think that it was an expensive lesson, but it was a lesson nonetheless. I am going to learn from that, and I'm going to do that, pursue it. And the goal, still going to try and reach the thing I want to do. But you can't half-ass it, right? I'm pretty sure I've done that a couple of times in my life when it comes to guitar, acting, school, and it is something I'm not going to do again. I'm not going to half-ass it. There's only so much time, but you can do a lot in that time, in those tiny times. Say I don't have enough time, but you still have a certain amount of screen time on your phone. You still have 7 days to practice guitar for a couple of hours, 30 minutes, an hour, and that will make you better. Just keeping practice, having that momentum every week. The same with training, right? It doesn't take much, but you have to show up and you have to put in that work. You can't half-ass it. And then I've gotten a good amount of size. I just have to learn the same principle on every single thing. So you can get a lot of things done in the gym in 1 year, and I can do that as well in school, in fixing my grades, in guitar, in acting. So please, Elias, be as good as you are. Be as good in school, guitar, acting, as you are in the gym, because you're quite good in the gym, I think. I mean, I have, lower back pain right now. It's quite bad. But you get what I'm saying, the principle, the discipline, the showing up and all that stuff. Eating the same food, shitty food every day, So yeah, it's just it's kind of annoying that I haven't learned from the past, but now I think I will. I think I am, and I can't do anything about the past right now. And these kind of worries, these kind of stresses, it ruins your life experience. There's things to do, things to experience, things to love, hate, whatever. Life in itself, life. So do that, have that plan, but also live a little. Okay? Jeez. Do stuff. Have a life. Is that how you want to have your life? Doing the same shit, being at school every single, or this is kind of like a low grade mentality speaking, but you know, you can still have a good grade and still do stuff. I read on TikTok. I don't watch TikTok, but I am guilty of, you know, whenever I go on the app to post, there is a video always popping on the screen, and one of them was a guy who took a degree in medicine and law here in Norway. White, which is incredible. It's an incredible feat in itself, but that is, I don't know what his grades are. They're probably great. I don't know. But that is, you know, the level, the work he put in. Law and medicine. At the same time. At the same time. Not the same, but he is taking both educations at the same time. That is the, you know, dream big. Jesus. So, yeah, congrats to him. God damn, that is the comparison. But you see how I sort of spoke of it? I didn't speak of it like he does all this shit and I am here. It's more like that is the ceiling. That is how hard, that is what you can achieve if you just bam, you just go for it. So you should go for it, Elias. You should definitely go for it. So anywho, yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm still going to post videos. I'm still going to do all this fun stuff. So yeah, but at least I got that out of my head. So yeah, hope you had a good day. I hope you will have a good day. I wish you the best as always. Have a laugh, have a smile, and be kind, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care and goodbye.